Family, today Jesus tells a parable about maintaining an attitude of humbleness in your life. Let's take a look at Luke chapter 14, 7 through 14. Now he told a parable to those who were invited. When he noticed how they chose the places of honor, saying to them, "When you are invited by someone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in a place of honor, lest someone more distinguished than you be invited by him. And he who invited you both will come and say to you, 'Give your place to this person.' And then you will begin with shame to take the lowest place. But when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he may say to you, 'Friend, move up higher.' Then you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at the table with you. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted." So just imagine that a person is invited to someone else's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and there is a long table that will sit about 30 people or so. Now, the host of the banquet will be sitting at the head of the table. And the closer to the host that a person sits, the higher the honor it is. So let's say the person who has been invited to the host's home for Thanksgiving dinner walks into the dining room and sits in the seat closest to the head of the table. And as other people arrive, they fill in some of the other chairs closest to the host. But then let's say that the daughter of the host, who has been away at college, comes into the room and is looking for a chair close to her dad. What's going to happen? The host is going to turn to the person and ask them to choose another chair. He wants his daughter, whom he hasn't seen in a few months, to sit next to him. Now, in our age today, maybe that doesn't seem like such a big deal. But in Jesus' day, social status and honor were a big deal, and it would have been a huge humiliation to be asked to move to a lower seat farther away from the host of the table. So Jesus says, choose a lower seat first. And then if you're asked to move up to a higher seat, then great. The point Jesus is making to folks back then and to us today is don't think too highly of yourself. Maintain an attitude of humbleness in your life. There are a couple of verses which stand out to us today. The first is James chapter 4, verse 10. And it says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you." And take a look also at Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 through 4. "In humility, count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." The Greek word translated into our word humble is a word that means to have a modest view of oneself. I wonder who God can use more in someone else's life, the person who thinks they are above other people, or the person who maintains a humble attitude about themselves. Well, today, remember, God loves you. Stay humble. I'll see you next time.